Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on Bobo. Inside of this video, I want to talk about why Jujutsu Infinite's kind of already dying. If you guys haven't seen the player count recently, yeah, yesterday I think it reached like 60k CCU, which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong, 60k is still really good. But the fact that not even 2 weeks ago it was averaging like 300, 400k no matter what time of day it is, and now it's already down to 60k. It's a little crazy, I can't lie. This game might have one of the quickest fall-offs I think I've ever seen. And it's honestly for good reason. Now, you guys can feel free to disagree with me, but this game, on the simple baseline of it, this game's not a good game, right? That's a very simple way to put it. It's not a good game. You play the game, you level up, you hit max, you do some bosses, right? You know, maybe you get a domain shard if you don't give up. I know some of my friends literally took like 500 bosses and didn't get one. And then they just quit the game because that's what the game is, right? You level up, boom, you hit level 420 in probably 2 days, 3 days, maybe 4 if you're really taking your sweet time, right? Most people level it up to max in like a day or two. Okay, you hit max. And then the only appealing part of the game is the PvE, because the PvP has to be one of the worst PvPs that I've ever seen in like any video game. So it's just like, there's nothing to do, right? The simple baseline of it is there's nothing to do in this game. And they're preparing an update right now, and I'm telling you, if they don't increase the level cap or do something, like, even if they increase the level cap, it does not matter, right? They're just going to increase it to 500. Boom, you get some more stat points. People's builds become even more brain dead, so nobody's going to want to play PvP. And then the game just goes down to its normal player count, right? Like, I would not be surprised if 2 weeks from now, this game has 30k, 20k players, and, you know, people really only hop on for updates. And we all know, by their testing update schedule, they're only going to update like once every 3 months, 2 months, maybe even 4 months. So yeah, that's kind of why the game's already dying, because it's not a good game. At the very baseline level of it, if we're being completely honest with ourselves, it's just not a good game. Which kind of sucks, because there's no other games out right now, right? It's kind of still the same games. It's either you play Depot, and you play this, you play that, and that's kind of all that there is, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, this game, I would not be surprised at all. It probably has like a month left, sitting at a decent player count, and then, you know, it'll start updating. Hopefully, it starts updating. I know that they're working on a winter or like a Christmas update, which is kind of weird to me. The fact that it's now like 3 weeks, 2 weeks after Christmas. But I guess that's a little interesting. But yeah, I honestly, I think the simple part of it is the PvP for this game sucks. Nobody's really like, the PvP is just not good, right? It's the fact that the game's pay to win. The fact that bosses have to be the most boring thing I think I've ever played. Investigations are boring. The game's movesets are relatively pretty boring. It's kind of just skill spam. So yeah, the simple reason why this game's already dying and why it's losing players is because it's not a good game, right? If I wanted to play this, I would have just waited for Project Slayers 2 to come out, which would have had way more playtime into it, and just everything like that. That's basically what this game is, right? Sure, it has some unique mechanics. Sure, it has a lot of stuff to collect, but like, it's not good. It's just not. Like, you can't fake enjoying this game, right? You might have enjoyed it the first 2 days, maybe the first 4 days, and then you got your domain shard. But yeah, after that, the game's just not good. And any tester could have told you that, right? Like, all the testers were like, yeah, you guys are going to enjoy the game for probably a week, and then, you know, it's going to fall off. But I literally haven't posted in 3 days because there's nothing to post on this game. I don't want to play the PvP. The PvP is literally dog shit. Like, it's terrible. And then PvE is PvE. I already have my domain shard. Like, I got my domain. I have my maximum. There's nothing else to do. I have the weapon that I wanted. There's literally nothing to do in this game. You guys can feel free to leave your own thoughts, because I feel like a lot of you guys are going to agree with me. But when you have a game of this style, right? Thinking about Blotch Fruits, the only reason why Blotch Fruits has so much players and stuff like that is because there's stuff to do, right? There's always something to do because how much stuff they have in the game. This game was just unfinished. It wasn't ready. Like, anywhere near ready, which is kind of crazy because, you know, they worked on it for like 2 years. It was in testing for a year, but it wasn't ready. This game still needs like another year of work to be ready for public release. Like, I mean, hey, they had a good public release. They made their money. They got their money. but they're going to update like once every 3 months, and yeah, it's just not going to be a good thing. The leveling was boring as hell, made a lot of people quit. The bosses are boring as hell, 4 domain shards and things like that, made a lot of people quit. The PvP, like even if you get to the point where you have your domain and do all that, the PvP is just so bad that you just quit the game right after you get your domain. Like, that's just how the game works, which is very unfortunate that this game doesn't have a good PvP. But the PvP is literally just holding, boom, you dash towards them, M1, M1, combo send, M1, M1, do that, boom, boom, boom. And then that's what? They get knocked back, and then you do E again, and then you do the same thing over and over and over again. Like, the PvP is genuine. Like, that's why I haven't made a PvP video, because the PvP is actually just that bad inside this game to the point I don't want to play it, right? And then bosses, like I said, I already have my domain. There's no reason to play it. Like, there's actually zero reason for me to touch this game right now. Why would I play bosses? I already have my domain. Why would I do PvP if the PvP in this game's just ass? There's no trading, so getting things of value doesn't matter. Like, there's just no reason to play this game, pretty much. And I feel like a lot of people are thinking that way, like, because everyone's match level. Like, let's be honest, if you're not match level, you maybe started the game late or something, or I don't know, because this game is genuinely like the easiest game ever to max out on. Like, 6 hours, double XP, your max. And 6 hours is crazy. That's just my own thoughts, though. You guys can feel free to leave your own thoughts in the comments. I just believe this game does not have enough content. It does not have enough anything, right? There's not enough of anything. There's not enough levels. You hit max way too fast. But the leveling's so boring to the point where if they made it any longer, I literally would have quit just off of leveling. The bosses are boring. You know, they're not hard at all. They're very easy. You can literally solo any boss with minimal issues. You don't even have to have good innates. It's pay to win, which I don't really care about. I paid to win, but it is a little annoying. There's genuinely just nothing good about this game, right? They made it pay to win. The people paid. They got their money. They're gonna update once every 3 months, and this game will just be forgotten about. That's just how it is, right? It's a bandit beater. The only bandit beaters that will never be forgotten is like Blox Fruits, because it has a bunch of little kids that play it. And that's just how Roblox is. And I feel like everyone knows that, but we still pay to win. I don't know why we do this to ourselves, because we know we knew this game was gonna die in 2 weeks, and I feel like a lot of people still did it just to do it. But yeah, that's basically it for me, right? Like, you guys can feel free to leave your own thoughts and all that inside the comments. That's just my own opinion. I just think this game is simply not good, which I'm not surprised. The only good game that this development team has ever released was Titan Warfare, and they gave up on it. So, yeah. Hey, you guys can leave your own thoughts. That's for me. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.